Hello, Sport fan. This is Stephen Hill with Sports Choice Plus. Bring you a very special breakdown. I'm going to be covering who would you rather have, Jimmy G and the Raiders, or would you rather have Derek Carr and the Saints? Before I get right into that, I want to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can get all the breakdowns, all the updates, everything that we go over each and every week here on Sports Choice Plus. And you can be the first to see it, but first to comment, first subscribe. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Looking at this offseason, we've seen both these quarterbacks change teams. We saw Jimmy G, of course, go from the 49ers to the Raiders. And you look at that impeccable roster that they have offensively. You look at some of the highlights of Hunter Renfrow. You also have Devontae Adams over there. I know Josh is coming back at the running back position. And you're looking at the offense. It's a solid offense. The offensive line needs a little tweaking, but it is a solid offense. As far as a quarterback goes, of who you're throwing to, and it's so much that goes into, they got Jacoby Myers too. So I think they have a couple of wiggle room as far as play calling. Josh McDaniels has a lot of different calls that he can call. Let's just be honest. As a play caller, if he's just calling plays, Josh McDaniels is impeccable. But as a head coach, I don't know so much. But and then you look on the other side. You look at the Saints. You look at the Saints having Alvin Kamara. They just got Williams in free agency to make a tandem there. You're looking at Olave. You got, if Michael Thomas can give you something, that's incredible. They got a plethora of wide receivers and playmakers in New Orleans. It doesn't matter if it's the tight end position. Hell, they can run the Wildcat with the tight end. I mean, you got a number of things that can go crazy. So here's going to be the kicker. When I'm looking at both these teams, it's going to come down to two things. The first thing, who can stay healthy? The biggest availability is simply being available. If you're spending more time off the field, out of practice, your offense is not going to have that same unity as if you're in practice every day. You're controlling, you're playing in the games every week. That's going to be big. So when I'm looking at it, and I have to think, okay, my history tells me Jimmy G gets hurt a lot. Derek Carr gets hurt, but Jimmy G really misses games. So when I've seen Derek Carr play through a messed up thumb, when I've seen him play through a hurt foot, I've seen him play through some things that possibly will put people out for multiple games. Jimmy G, on the other part, hasn't played through those injuries, hasn't played through those nagging things. He's missed a lot of games lately. The second thing I look at is offensive production outside of the quarterback position. That means when you get rid of the ball, who are you getting the ball? Who are you getting rid of the ball to? Who are you throwing it to? Doesn't matter if it's a tight end. Doesn't matter if it's a wide receiver. Doesn't matter if it's a running back. Doesn't matter if it's a wildcat player either. Who are you getting the ball to, and can they make people miss? Because that's what it's going to ultimately boil down to. Can you make accurate throws? Can you get the ball out quickly? Can you survey your reads? Boom, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the ball's got to be out. Because let's just face it, some of these teams that you're going to be facing have elite defenders on them that can get to the quarterback very quickly. So for me, the best possible target may be on the Saints. The Saints have the more balanced roster, the more options to go to. But I believe the guy that's going to have the better season is going to be Jimmy G. The reason I say this, Devontae Adams is head and shoulders above any one receiver that they have on the Saints. It's that big of a difference. Even if Michael Thomas is fully healthy, Devontae Adams is a playmaker much more better than Michael Thomas is. In the red zone, Michael Thomas goes crazy. But when you're looking at the basis of all these things, I trust Devontae Adams with the ball in his hands more than I do anybody else. Second up, Alvin Kamara, a good running back, a good running back. I think Alvin Kamara is going to have to miss time. I think that whatever happened in Vegas a year ago, he's going to have to possibly be suspended, miss time, and they're going to have to go through that this season. And I also think I like the better offensive pieces with the Raiders. I like that you're essentially going to have Josh be able to run the football in a system that he knows. It's going to take Derek Carr a little bit to get put to a certain position. But I think that the basis of the Raiders, the offensive playbook, Jimmy G knows. Jimmy G knows the philosophy. He knew that in New England. It's the same exact offense. It's just you're going to have some different wrinkles here and there. But for the most part, Jimmy G's supposed his rookie, first, second, third year in New England. It's the same offense. So they didn't go out and change the structure of the offense. It's the same offense. When you see those little slants, those come and goes, those up routes, that it's the same thing. The little bubble screens. It's New England. So the diversity, the ability to get the ball out quickly, I think Jimmy G is going to have the better season, even though Derek Carr may have the better team. Defensively, offensively, I think Derek Carr has the better situation, but I think Jimmy G will have more yards, he'll have more touchdowns, and he'll stay healthier. I think that's what's going to be for next year. I think they're going to make some plays for offensive linemen in the draft, and I think that they're going to make some free agency moves to shuffle some pieces. Defensively, they may not make changes there, but they're going to need to make changes on that O-line so they can shuffle some pieces and make sure Jimmy G is protected. But I think playing in the AFC is going to be more competitive, and I think that the Saints have a cakewalk. I don't think the NFC South is going to be a challenge for the Saints. I think it's theirs for the taking. I don't see the Falcons, I don't see the Bucks, or the Carolina Panthers stopping them. They have a fully loaded team. They have a pretty good defense still have Cameron Jordan, still have a couple different pieces, but I think this is the South, this is the Saints South to take. The Raiders, on the other hand, are going to have to fight every single game, tooth and nail, because let's just face it, Kansas City is defending champion. Los Angeles Chargers are very good. Denver is going to bounce back with Sean Payton. So, get in the comment section. Who do you guys think? Definitely check out Sports Choice Plus for all the breakdowns and other updates, and I'll see you on the very next video.